Now, they hit the per capita consumption of carbon-based energy that the United States is using. The ice caps will melt. And we are into very serious trouble. So, we must hope that long before it becomes completely irretrievable, the Chinese and the Indians will recognize that this is one world, and that if they just spoil the landscape, it's not just the gases will be blown eastwards into Japan and California, but water levels will rise, Shanghai will be at risk, the Tibetan Plateau glaciers will melt away, and so enormous consequences when the glacier in the Himalayas and the plateau disappears and the rivers become seasonal. Similarly with India, because that plateau supplies all the big rivers to China and India. What are the chances of their getting the message? I'm not sure, but I think a green movement is slowly growing in China, not yet in India. So the Chinese are feeling they're being done in by this growth. So for the Olympics, they had to put up a big show so that the the marathon could go on. And they shut off all the factories in the surrounding, I don't know how many kilometers radius of Beijing for 2-3 weeks beforehand. And lo and behold, in spite of the being in a valley and still air in August, they had blue skies for the marathon. And now the Paralympic Olympics are also over, so it's gone back to the old situation. But the people have already tasted a better Beijing. One of the things they did was to stop all cars, or half the cars using the roads, by odd and even numbers. So now they've worked out a scheme where they say 1, 2, 3, the end number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 1, 2, 3. So on each day of the week, that car, which that number, will have to stay off the road. But that doesn't prevent somebody from buying a second car with a different number. And there are enough yuppies in Beijing to defeat the purpose. So they can build any number of flyovers, roads, ring roads, etc. They are not going to solve this problem until they hoist in the reality that you need mass rapid transit, and that the majority in the city must use public transport. But this message is also slowly reaching out to the other cities in the country. So they have decided, as an experiment, because they've been watching us, and we propose to them, or we go to Tianjin and show you how we have a greener city, not a green city like Singapore, but a greener one, which means low energy consumption, sustainable growth, clean and green environment. So 30 square kilometers have been set aside. It's something that's going to take 10, 15 years before it begins to take shape. Now, if they get that message within 10, 15 years as this thing progresses, then I think there's hope that all is not lost, and there will be a worldwide agreement between all the major consumers of energy to some limits above which they should not go. If it comes too late, if it comes 30, 40 years in time, then I think we're all in trouble. And Singapore can do all its utmost. But if the ice caps melt in the Arctic and the Antarctic, we are in deep trouble. And so we must hope for the best, but prepare for something less than the best. Because I do not believe that they will be able to reach European levels of sensitivities anytime within 1 or 2 decades. It will take longer. I think the most eco-sensitive of all the societies in the world are the Europeans, because they've had a pleasant, very moderate climate, from Mediterranean to Scandinavia, and they have seen floods, strong winds knocking down trees, buildings, heat wave in France killing off old people. So there's a sense of urgency, which unfortunately have not been shown by the Americans. But slowly they are coming around. California is coming around. President Bush has moved his position. But it will take some time before the Americans get serious. And the Americans are the biggest consumers of energy, and they have to show the way.